Narrative criticism is a literary theory used to understand the stories that shape our perceptions of the world. It examines how the elements of storytelling influence and reflect personal and societal truths. This approach digs into the narrative's role, setting, characters, and plot to decipher underlying messages in both written and spoken tales. This form of criticism emphasizes the interaction between the text and its audience. Focusing on how narratives are constructed and interpreted, it explores the impact of different narrative styles and structures on the audience's understanding. By doing this, narrative criticism reveals how stories reinforce or challenge cultural and personal norms. Understanding narrative criticism is crucial in our increasingly narrative-driven society. It equips us with the tools to critically engage with the plethora of stories that bombard us daily, from news articles and movies to everyday conversations. This critical engagement helps us make sense of the complex world around us through the narratives we consume and share. Narrative structures shape the way stories are told and understood. Common structures include linear, nonlinear, and circular narratives, each providing unique ways for the story to unfold. Linear narratives follow a straightforward chronological path, which can provide clarity and predictability. Nonlinear structures, such as flashbacks or parallel narratives, complicate the storytelling process but enrich the narrative by providing multiple perspectives and layers of meaning. Circular narratives, where the story ends where it began, often highlight the themes of fate and consequence, suggesting a philosophical pondering on the cyclical nature of life. Understanding these structures helps audiences decode the intended messages and themes of the narrative. For instance, a non-linear narrative might be used to mimic the complexity and fragmentation of memory, thereby enhancing the emotional impact of the story on its audience. Stories profoundly impact our individual lives by shaping our perceptions, emotions, and decisions. They do so by offering frameworks within which we can interpret our own experiences. For example, someone who resonates with a character's journey in a novel might find comfort or inspiration in their own life challenges. Narratives also help in constructing our identity. Through engaging with various stories, individuals pick up traits, ideals, and aspirations that they see reflected in characters or narratives they admire. This process of identification helps in the personal growth and evolution of an individual's character and moral compass. Moreover, stories serve as a means for emotional catharsis. They allow individuals to experience complex emotions safely and can lead to profound personal insights and healing. A deeply moving story can change a person's outlook on an issue or even on life itself, demonstrating the powerful personal influence of narratives. Cultural narratives are stories that communities tell about themselves that embody shared values, histories, and aspirations. These stories play a crucial role in forming collective identities, influencing how members of the community see themselves and others. For example, national histories taught in schools shape a sense of patriotism and belonging among citizens. These narratives can also enforce social norms and behaviors by outlining what is considered acceptable or heroic within the community. Cultural stories often become a means of passing down important teachings and traditions that preserve the heritage and guide future generations. However, cultural narratives can also be contentious when they exclude or misrepresent certain groups. This can lead to conflicts and the marginalization of minorities, showing that while cultural narratives can unite, they can also divide. Fiction provides vivid examples of how narrative structures can influence perception. Take, for instance, George Orwell's 1984, where the oppressive regime uses narrative control as a tool of power, shaping citizens' reality through manipulated language and propaganda. This highlights the potential of narratives to control thought and behavior. In contrast, Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird uses the innocent perspective of a child to challenge racial prejudices, demonstrating how narratives can foster empathy and challenge societal norms. The narrative structure here guides the reader through a journey of moral awakening and critical reflection on issues of justice and human rights. These examples show that fiction does not merely entertain, but also educates and provokes thought. Through different narrative techniques, authors can lead readers to question, understand, and empathize with experiences and ideologies far removed from their own. Everyday stories, such as personal anecdotes or community folklore, might seem trivial, but hold significant power in shaping beliefs and behaviors. These stories, often overlooked, are fundamental in constructing social reality and normative behaviors. For instance, family stories shared at gatherings reinforce bonds and impart family values. In the workplace, narratives about company culture or success stories of individuals can motivate employees and shape corporate identity. These narratives help in creating a cohesive environment where shared goals and values are emphasized, demonstrating the practical application of narrative in everyday settings. Moreover, the stories people share about their personal experiences can influence public opinion and policy. For instance, personal testimonies played a crucial part in movements like #MeToo, where shared narratives brought attention to widespread issues of harassment and abuse, showing the power of personal stories in societal change. Narrative criticism offers a valuable lens through which we can understand the multitude of stories that surround us. By analyzing narrative structures and their impacts, we gain insights into how stories shape individual identities and cultural norms. This understanding is crucial in a world where narratives increasingly influence every aspect of our lives. Through narrative criticism, we not only become more discerning consumers of stories, but also learn to appreciate the power and responsibility that comes with storytelling. Whether in literature, film, or everyday conversation, narratives hold the power to educate, influence, and transform. In conclusion, by engaging critically with the narratives around us, we can better navigate the complexities of life and foster a more empathetic and informed society. Narrative criticism thus not only enriches our engagement with stories, but also enhances our understanding of the human experience.